Howdy folks, thanks for coming here and checking out this Fallout 76 video. Today we're going to be taking a look at all of the brand new Gatling Plasma mods that were recently added over on the Fallout 76 PTS. As there is a few to go through, we will be going through each of them individually just to see exactly what they can do, but as you can even see here in front of you, we do actually have an update to some of the nozzles and receivers and things like that. As you can see there, the beam splitter has been updated to now actually do a little bit of a different sort of effect than what it actually does over on the live game, but we'll get into that momentarily. So just to kind of give you sort of like an overview of all of the new mods that are available, there are a couple. So we've got basically what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we actually technically have 7, I think. Well, yeah, basically 7, because there's been an update to the beam splitter, and then also now we have the flamer nozzle. So what we'll do is we'll go through each of them individually. So the first one we have is the accelerated nozzle. That will give you 0.25 weapon speed, and then also I'll kind of go through each of them individually when we modify them and kind of give you an idea of how well they work with particular legendary effects. But you can probably tell already just from looking at the description what this will actually work very well with. But anyway, moving on to the next one, we do have the calibrated capacitor. That will give us plus 100% critical damage, and then also it'll give us an increase to our action point cost by plus 20%. Then the next one we have is the gamma wave emitter, so minus 40% damage, but it will actually give us plus 20% range, plus 20% ammo capacity, and then minus 40% energy damage. Then the next one we have is the large core receptacle. So as you can see there, minus 3% aim speed, plus 10% action point cost, minus 20% reload speed, but plus 50% ammo capacity. So basically it's just an increase to your ammo capacity. Moving on, we do have the stinging core receptacle. This is pretty much, I'd say, for a lot of people come December, once all of these mods are available to actually put on your Gatling Plasma, this one in particular is definitely going to be one of the go-to mods for the Gatling Plasma moving forward, because as you can see there, yes, it will give us an increase to our action point cost by plus 10%, but will actually give us plus 20% armor penetration. That's right, plus 20% armor penetration. So we're technically sort of getting half or just under half of the anti-armor effect that we get on legendary weapons and all that kind of good stuff. So yeah, this is definitely going to be a great one to go for, and I'd say for a lot of people this will be one of the go-to mods for the Gatling Plasma, and you can probably tell already what this will work very well with, and again I'll get into that momentarily. Then lastly, we do have the swift core receptacle. So as you can see there, minus 5% action point cost, and then plus 30% reload speed. So basically it's just giving an increase to our reload speed. So what we'll do is we'll go through each of these individually and we'll take a look at them and see exactly what they'll do. I have 3 Gatling Plasmas in particular that I actually have gone ahead and I've modified, and I've popped legendary effects on them, and we'll go through those now in a few moments. And then just to kind of note as well, I am on a custom world here on the PTS just so I can add these legendary effects and modify them to whatever way I want to. So the first one in particular, and basically what we'll do is we'll go through all of the sort of like the mods, like the receivers and that kind of stuff. We'll start off at the very beginning. So we do have the calibrated capacitor. So as you can see there, plus 100% critical damage, and then plus 10% hip fire accuracy. You can see there the increase it will obviously do to damage. And then also as well, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, you know, when it comes to power armor, you know, I'm not really using this weapon that much in VATS, but come the Gleaming Depths December update, when it comes to using power armor and using heavy weapons in VATS, AP usage is definitely getting a little bit of love there. So you'll probably even find come December there'll be a lot of heavy gunner VATS builds. So yeah, and then even with the new Vulcan power armor that we're getting, that AP reduction effect that's actually inbuilt to that, then that's one of the rewards from the Vault Raids mode. That's going to be a awesome set of power armor to get your hands on. So yeah, you're probably going to notice a lot of more people are going to be using VATS heavy gunner builds when it comes to December. But basically the calibrated capacitor will work very well with that, because that will give you plus 100% critical damage, and then obviously it'll give you an increase to your hip fire accuracy. Then also we have the gamma wave emitter. That will give us plus 20% ammo capacity, and then also as well the standard receiver. That's basically what we have already. And then also I know it's missing from here, I don't have it unlocked unlocked here on the PTS, but we do also have the prime capacitor that will give us that extra damage towards scorched and scorched beasts and so on, and then it'll give us that little bit of increased damage on that anyway. So, you know, there's a few there that you can obviously decide, well, what sort of ones you're probably thinking already that you're probably going to go for. Personally, I really do like the gamma wave emitter. I really have enjoyed testing it with this. But yeah, those are the ones that we have there anyway. And then moving on as well, we still have the same barrels. There's the rifle barrel and then there's the standard barrel. So technically, you know, the rifle barrel is probably much the better one to go for. And then also as well, this is where we go into the receptacles. So again, the large core receptacle, that's just basically giving you an increase to your ammo capacity. As you can see there, it's going up to 850 compared to the 600 that we have with the standard. The standard core receptacle will just basically give you plus 5% reload speed. And then as we go into the stinging core receptacle, you can even see there with the combination of effects that I have. Yes, I know I normally run with low health, so I have a bloodied explosive, 90% reduced weight, but then with the stinging core receptacle, plus 20% armor penetration Gatling Plasma. This thing, I've tested this with these combination of mods. My God, it hits like a truck. It really does. So you basically could say that the Gatling Plasma is definitely getting a major upgrade in December. Now, how these actual mods will be unlocked, I'm not too sure. I haven't read too much into that sort of side of things. I don't know if it's going to be like through the Vault Raids mode. I'm not 100% certain. But look, if you even know yourself and you've found out exactly what they're going to be or how they're going to be unlocked, let me know below in the comments. Maybe it might just be a case where you just scrap enough Gatling Plasmas and you'll learn the mods as you go along. But yeah, look, a lot of these are going to be a ton of fun to use once you get your hands on them in December. And then the last one as well is the Swift Core Receptacle. That will give us plus 30% reload speed. Again, you can probably see as well what is the best one out of those. If you're mainly going for DPS and damage and things like that, the Stinging Core Receptacle, that is definitely one you want to have on. And then if you couple that with Stabilized, you know, you're getting, I think it's what, 40% or 45% that you're ignoring when it comes to Stabilized when you're using power armor. So you can basically say, what, that's what, 65% extra armor penetration. And then if you couple that with the anti-armor effect on top of that as well, you're kind of doing in and around about what, 90 to 100% armor penetration. It's just it's awesome. It really is, and I'm delighted that these mods are now available for the Gatling Plasma. Moving on, again, look, reflex sight, that's the sort of same thing. And then we move into the splitters and the nozzles. So you probably know from yourself, if you're on the live game, that the beam splitter looks a little bit different. Probably looks very much like this, like the flamer nozzle, but this is the new flamer nozzle, or the flamer nozzle that is going to be specific to turning this into a flame sort of shooting weapon. So yeah, there you go. And then with the beam splitter, as you can see, it will give us plus 4 projectiles when you fire this weapon. So it does exactly what it's meant to do. It's going to obviously increase the amount of projectiles that are being fired, and you will see exactly what that does when we get into a bit of testing here in a few moments. Again, like, do you know what? It sort of gives me those vibes from sort of like legacy nerf, when we had the legacy Gatling Plasmas, just the massive explosive radius and all that kind of good stuff. This kind of makes me sort of, you know, get that sort of throwback to those, but you'll see anyway when we get into it. Then also as well, you look, we still have the beam focuser, and then lastly we have the accelerated nozzle. So as I said, this will basically just increase your fire rate. As you can see there, that will go up to 114 compared to the 91 that we normally have with the beam focuser. So yeah, if you couple this with 25% or 25% faster fire rate, any other sort of legendary effects that you want to run as well, this one is definitely going to be a great one, and very, very, very fun mod to use, especially with that legendary effect. And then lastly, it's just the appearance. We're not really worrying about that. But anyway, as I said, I do have a couple here that I've already modified, and I've kind of adjusted them to kind of sort of work well with the new mods that we do have available. So the first one I have here is an anti-armor plus 25% weapon speed, 90% reduced weight, and then again, I do have the new Stinging Core Receptacle on there with the plus 20% armor penetration, but I actually have stuck on the flamer nozzle, and there's a reason for that, and you'll see very, very closely when we're actually testing this how well the flamer nozzle works in combination with all of these. So definitely get ready for that. Then also as well, we do have a bloodied plus 25% weapon speed, 90% reduced weight, plus 20% armor penetration with the accelerated nozzle. So as I said, you know, if you kind of couple these together, you're sort of getting like, I'd say what, like maybe 45-50% weapon speed with this. Like, I mean, it's super fast with these combination of mods and legendary effects. But again, we'll do some testing and I'll show you that. And then lastly, we do have the Bloodied Explosive, 90% reduced weight plus 20% armor penetration with the beam splitter on. Now, I know there's a couple of comments in one of my previous videos and a couple of people have asked me over on the Discord and things like that when it comes to the explosive legendary effects. So projectiles explode for 20% weapon damage. This unfortunately does not work with the flamer nozzle. So like most sort of flame weapons, you know, if you use flamers, even if you use that on the Enclave plasma rifle or any of the plasma rifles, and you turn into a flamer, basically the projectiles explode for plus 20% weapon damage. Just doesn't work with that. So once you turn it into a flame weapon, it just doesn't seem to work. So unfortunately, this, like, even when you do get like an explosive flamer, that legendary effect, it just becomes null and void. From my own testing and even the combination of mods that I've popped on here, no, it doesn't work. I've tried it with a couple of different enemies. I've, you know, looked at the damage numbers. I've tried to look into it a little bit further, and it just doesn't work. So unfortunately, if you do get a version of this, whatever sort of Gatling Plasma you get, basically anti-armor, juggernauts, whatever kind of build that you like to run, if you do have the explosive effect on it, then I would probably stay away from the flamer nozzle, because it will just basically make that effect null and void. Now look, I could be completely wrong here when I say that, but just from my own testing and from what I've tried to put together here with these combination of Gatling Plasmas and using the flamer nozzle with that legendary effect, I just don't see any increase to damage. I don't see that effect working. I don't see it obviously, you know, doing the explosive effect that it should be doing. There's a tiny little explosive, not even explosive effect, but it's like a tiny little sort of plasma blob explosion when you actually use the flamer nozzle. But I don't really think that that's with the legendary effect, because I even used the flamer nozzle without the explosive legendary effect and it still didn't work. So, you know, I'm getting the same result with that. So basically with all energy weapons or laser weapons or anything like that, if you put a flamer barrel on it, it just will make that legendary projectiles explode for 20% weapon damage effect null and void. So anyway, look, I've gone on long enough. We'll get to the testing, and then also as well quickly, just to show you the build, it's just mainly a typical heavy gunner build. So again, we've got all the expert heavy gunners and then master heavy gunner perk cards in there for that 60% increased damage, grenadier just to increase the explosive radius, concentrated fire, glow sight, all that kind of stuff. And then of course, look, we have stabilized in there because we will be using this with power armor, and especially with the anti-armor version that I did show you there a little while ago. Basically in power armor, heavy guns gain excellent accuracy and ignore 45% armor. And then again, look, these are all the different cards. I wouldn't worry too much about the build for now, because, you know, come December, you know, I will be making an updated build video for all of my builds and my heavy gunner builds and stuff like that. So don't read too much into this for now, because a lot of stuff is actually going to be changing. But the main ones is basically heavy gunners, heavy gunner cards, and then again, look, with the likes of stabilized. And then also as well, I do have one gun army in there, so heavy guns gain a 4% stagger chance and a 4% chance to cripple a limb. It's always great to have that in there, especially if you're using heavy guns. Now, a quick little PSA though. I want to quickly note this just before, you know, people go popping on these new mods, but especially with the new beam splitter. Oh well, yeah, the new updated beam splitter mod. If you do use this in close proximity to yourself, and especially with the new gamma wave emitter, you will kill yourself. As you can see there, boom, gone. So yeah, just make sure that when you pop this on, and even if you do wear power armor, it's the exact same thing. It will absolutely melt you. So it's kind of giving those throwback vibes to the days of the legacy Gatling Plasma. You know, like you can even see there, like the explosion that it's just doing right now. Like, holy crap. Absolutely awesome. And there we go, I killed myself again. So yeah, there's a little PSA and a little warning for yourselves just before you pop this on here. But anyway, look, let's hop on over and let's go and test this out on some enemies. So let's go. Alrighty, so for our first test, we are going to be using the anti-armor plus 25% weapon speed, 90% reduced weight, plus 20% armor penetration mod with the flamer barrel. I know for some people, you probably might say to yourself, oh, look, pop on the beam splitter, accelerate nozzle, all these different things. But look, we are going to be using the flamer nozzle because I do want to sort of emphasize how good this is now. So what we'll do is we'll hop on over here to this behemoth and I'll show you exactly what it can do. So let's try and get him awake real quick. Here we go. We'll get him awake there. And then, of course, look, I am in power armor, so I'm going to be utilizing stabilized. And as you can see, he is getting wasted. Look at that. Look at that. Look how good that is. Absolutely awesome. And just while I'm here as well, and I'm actually utilizing the flamer nozzle, that's what I'm talking about. As you can see there, see those little sort of explosive little blob thingies? Yeah, visually it looks like it's actually like exploding, but if you consider the fact that this doesn't actually have the explosive effect, that's what I'm talking about when I mean that it doesn't work with the explosive legendary effect. And I've tested it with this, and the damage numbers just even show that it's not doing that additional explosive damage. So I think primarily, yeah, the explosive legendary effect just doesn't work with the flamer nozzle, but it's definitely a good one. It is, it does the job. So let's hop on over to one of the other super mutant behemoths down at Pylon V13 or V9 or something like that, and let's go and test that out on him instead. So let's go. So what we're going to do is we're going to check out the new accelerated nozzle. So this is the one with the plus 25% weapon speed, 90% reduced weight, and then again I still also have this stinging core receptacle on there. So let's see exactly what this does, and look how fast this is. Look how quick it is to take out a Snallygaster. I know obviously Snallygasters are very easy to take out, but let's obviously go and test this out on the main thing here, which is the super mutant behemoth. So let's go and test this out on him, and look at that damage. Look at that. I mean, that is just awesome. Just coupled with that plus 25% weapon speed legendary effect, and then also the mod itself, like this thing is just going to tear through enemies. I mean, again, look, you can obviously improve upon this in different ways, you know, if you want to put on like the prime receiver and, you know, go up against like scorch beasts and all that kind of stuff. But like, I mean, look at that. Look how awesome that is. And like, again, you know, we're using power armor, so we're utilizing stabilize, so we're also getting that armor penetration as well. I mean, just tearing through super mutants there. They just absolutely just get decimated. Look at that as well. Hang on. Oh. Look how good that is. That is just so fun. Right, so what we'll do is we'll test out the beam splitter. I'll quickly show you the beam splitter actually here while we have a couple of super mutants on us. So we'll go with this. So this is the bloodied scattered with the projectiles explode plus damage, all that good stuff. So let's go and try this out here. But I am going to test it out on a Mylar Queen as well. And then also I want to test out the anti-armor effect on a Mylar Queen, because I know they generally like to be tanky and stuff, but like... Look at that. Look how awesome that is. And then obviously, again, as I mentioned, just trying not to sort of get too close to any of those projectiles, because as I said, you'll just absolutely destroy yourself. Oh, we got to reload. There we go. Let's try and get that in there. Oh, come on. Reload faster. There we go. Hey, look at him go. That is just too fun. Absolutely just too fun. As I said, it kind of gives you those sort of vibes to the old sort of legacy Gatling plasmas and the legacy weapons. That's what it's kind of giving me here with this particular mod, or the updated version of this mod, should I say. But yeah, it is definitely a lot of fun. But hey, look, what we'll do is we'll quickly go over to this Mylar Queen and we'll test it out on her just to see exactly what it's like against a little bit more sort of a tankier enemy. So let's go. All right, so beam splitter and explosive rounds on this, and armor penetration. Let's try this against the Mylar Queen. Let's get her out of the water. There she is. And there we go. And she's crippled as well. Look at that. And you can see the flame damage over time effect working there as well. With the gamma wave emitter. and everything in combination. And I need to reload. She still has a little bit of, she'll get a little bit of damage there with the flame attack, and she is done. Oh god, we have these way too close to us, and we will definitely not fire that too close, because again, kind of giving a little bit of a throwback to the old legacy Gatling Plasma. If you fired it too close to where you were, that was it. It just kind of obliterated you. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll test out the anti-armor effect with the flamer nozzle over on another Mylar Queen. So let's hop on over and test that out. So let's go. Now, the Highland Marsh, a good place to find a Mylar Queen, and here we go. Now, we have a few other enemies, so it'd be nice to actually test this out on them as well. And be prepared as well, I'm not a super high level, and I don't really have an amazing suit of power armor. I have a combination of like T45 and T60 on me, so a lot of these might get through me pretty quickly, but hey, look, we'll try our best. But you can even see how the anti-armor effect is working on a lot of these, and even on the likes of a Mylar King there, working very well. Now, her poison attack is definitely not that great. Well, against me, it's not that great. But yeah, look at that. Look how quickly that is going through her. Like, I know obviously with the beam splitter and everything like that, like it looked like it was doing a lot more, but you can just even see how quickly we're taking her down. Like, just look at the difference of that. I mean, that is just awesome. That is so cool. And I mean, obviously, look, you can obviously swap this out, like the flamer nozzle with something else, and you can try it out with something else if you want to. But it's just like the flamer nozzle with this and the anti-armor effect and everything. It's just such a nice combination to use. You know, we'll try and get this last little Mylar hatchling here as well. There you go, get rid of that, because we do want to try and fast travel over and try this on something else. But yeah, just to wrap it up, we'll try out the accelerated nozzle, the plus 25% weapon speed. I know we tried that out already, but we'll go and try that out in a Scorch Beast. So let's go. Now, probably one of the best places to find Scorch Beasts and Scorched and all that, down here at Fisherside Prime. So let's make quick work of these with the new accelerated nozzle. Look at that. Look how quickly we get through those enemies. It's just so good. And then again, look, we still have the gamma wave emitter. I'm nearly sure on this as well. This is the one with the, yeah, it still has the gamma wave emitter. So we are doing that extra lovely damage there as well. So let's try and get this legendary Scorch Beast. We'll try and get it to land as well. We should be able to cripple it, and we are still doing that damage over time as well. So try and get him to land. Any more enemies? Oh, I'm getting absolutely obliterated here. My god, stop doing your screech attack and just land so we can do a demonstration. Well, we'll just try and get her in the air. Let's try and do that. I don't know why it isn't landing, or maybe it is going to land. Let's see if it comes back and lands here, but we'll try and get through a few Scorched. Again, the Prime Receiver would be top notch for this. Again, doing that extra damage against Scorch, but you can even see that, like, you know, not saying that you don't really need it, but even without the Prime Receiver or the Prime Capacitor on it, it's still absolutely just tearing through enemies. I mean, look at this. I mean, loads of explosions going on around me and things happening. Oh, we have a Scorch Beast down. Oh, let's go and try this one out. Come here, come here, come here, come here, come here. Don't go any further. Oh, look at that. And this is a level 80 legendary Scorch Beast. I mean, come on. That is just awesome. We'll try and get this last one as well. This is another level 80. Oh my god, there's another Scorched here as well. I have so much stuff going on. Oh my god, come on, just land. Just land. No, it's not gonna land. We'll try and get him. We'll try and get him down here. I think I actually did cripple him, so hopefully we can get that Scorch Beast to land. Is he gonna land? I think he might. Oh yeah, here we go. Let's try this now, and there we go. Gonna land. So here we go. Let's try this. I mean, look at that. Oh. It's just so good. And I also ran out of bullets and still killed it. That is so cool. So yeah, there you go. Those are kind of like the three sort of main combinations that I've tested out here. Hopefully I've provided all of you with the kind of information and knowledge going into the December update with these mods. They've been a ton of fun to test. I've been testing them out here over the last couple of days. I've been going through many different combinations, but I really feel with these particular ones that I've been using, and again, look, as I said before, you know, if you wanted to swap out the flamer nozzle for the anti-armor one that we were using there, and even use the beam splitter if you wanted to, that would obviously be a good combination as well. But just for the purpose of today, I wanted to test out that flamer nozzle with something anyway. But yeah, so there you go. That's all of the different mods. Hopefully you enjoyed that. So what we'll do is let's go and wrap this video up. So let's do it. However, that's everything for today. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments on the new Gatling Plasma mods and which one you're looking forward to using. As always, if you found today's video informative, consider giving the video a like and consider subscribing to the channel so you never miss out on future videos. To our channel members and subscribers, thank you for your continued support and helping the channel to grow. If you're picking up anything over on the Bethesda Gear Store and you'd like to support the channel, you can use my creator code BT76Fallout until October 29th to receive 20% off your entire purchase. Until next time, stay safe out there in the wasteland, welcome to Vault 93, and I'll catch you all in the next video.